This episode maybe might have been more important actually than the third episode because this is coming off of the resurgence of the third episode, and we want to make sure that they're doing just as well of a job as this third episode we are going to get. We're going to go as bad as something like episode 2, or was it going to be on par with 3 and back to the days of Top Gear quality? And it was. They're in Whitby, of course, the same place that they were last week, and finally we're just after 2 episodes now the dialogue just feels natural. It comes off great. It's not cheesy. It doesn't sound like crap. It actually feels like they're having a true conversation, which is what you need in a something where you want to have the 3 friends have a conversation. It doesn't want to sound very cheesy or kiddish. It made sense. And then they jump into, of course, after talking about the local stuff, they jumped into reviewing the Porsche GT3 RS. Now this is on par with the days when Clarkson was on Top Gear. This was as detailed and described as the way that we knew them to describe something of a car review. And this was very well done. For anyone that didn't think that it was well done, I have to completely disagree with you. This was a great review. There was a really great job to it, and I have to give props to finally getting back to that Top Gear quality. On top of that, out of the blue, Clarkson, of course, pulls in a BMW M4 GTR. And that's where a true comparison comes in. He compares the both of them, and not just on performance, but where it counts, of course. You see the differences between the two. He points them out. Very well done. Because they weren't particularly about stats either. I mean, they weren't going to give you a spreadsheet about the information. They're going to tell you how it drives and how it feels. I think people are misunderstanding if they think that they're going to go out and say, oh, well, this is how they do it in the MPG. They don't do that. And so this was a true Top Gear style review, and they did a really good job with it. I love the way that he introduced the GT3 RS with the Beetle. I love the way that it transitioned into the comparison between the BMW and the Porsche. I love the way that they closed it as well, just being a little cheesy and throwing it back. I love that. And if you guys didn't like the American, well, guess what? He came back to test the BMW M4 GTR, as well as the GT3 RS. And I'm not really a fan of the American. I think that honestly they need to give someone else. Hopefully in the next season we get someone else completely, because this guy, either he just shuts up completely or just doesn't talk at all. His jokes aren't funny. It's kind of stupid. The Stig, even when he was silent, made more sense and was more had more value than the American has in the past 4 episodes. So we jump back into, of course, Conversation Street. And they talked about, of course, the Ford GT and the traffic lights, which was kind of funny. That had some pretty good dialogue. Conversation still felt natural. It was just a great Conversation Street. This was very unlike episode 2 and 1. We're getting to the point now where the dialogue feels natural, and that I know I don't need to. I should mention that, but it makes a lot of sense because we finally are getting to that point. Celebrity brain crash. It's funny. It is. I think it makes sense that they want to keep doing this over and over, but I think at a certain point it's funny, but it's tiring. I want to see someone actually go and get interviewed, not do the time, because obviously if they're going different places they won't be able to do the timed lap, but I love to see them have maybe a conversation with the 3 just to generally have just talk about cars. I think that'd be really cool. But of course the different thing that they did with the Audi and where they put that was good what they did with the Audi. And so overall, then you go into the environmental mission, and this is where they shine as well. So not only in the reviews, but when they all come in with different styles of vehicles and they always critique each other, and we see what happens with all of them. And it just, of course, turns into a bombshell, but it was funny and it was enjoyable to watch them finally get back to this sort of Top Gearish, very Top Gearish episode. And so this episode, probably the best now. The last one was very good. I love the grand tour that they did, no pun intended, but obviously that's what they were going for. They did the grand tour in the grand tour of episode 3. This was more reserved in the area of what you'd see in an actual Top Gear episode. And we got the review, we got them doing a mission, they had a conversation, they did the news. Really good. This was a great, if you were looking for them to get back to Top Gear, this should have been really impressive for you. It was really impressive for me. I'm glad to see that they're up on quality. Amazon is really learning how to really work up the camera and doing everything very similar to the style that we saw in Top Gear. Cinematography is excellent. So, guys, what did you think? Comment below. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian Swan, and as always, stay tuned for more.